Hello, my pretties. It is Wednesday, May 14th in the United States and Canada, and this is a show called What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code What Chaos. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, run your game. My name is David Bean in Boston, Massachusetts. Last one for a little while, folks. Beside me is Pete Blackburn, and across the room is the great Sean DePaz. How are you, Pete Blackburn? Let's do some pleasantries.
Pretty good. I'm fine.
Good drive-in.
It was a solid drive-in. The weather's nice outside. I did watch Mission Impossible last night after the hockey game.
Good.
It was great. Mission Impossible, that first one, it is so cheesy, but it is so good.
Love me one slate night, man.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Me? I popped some melatonin, put me to sleep. So that's what I did with my extra time. Sean, what'd you do with your
Sean,
extra
how are
time?
you? It's my job to ask you.
Thank you.
Throw it around the
I'm all right. I watched basketball after the game last night. Watched second half of Nuggets Thunder, and that shit rocked. Was that the Nuggets blew like a 12-point lead? They went on like a 6-minute scoreless run. And if you don't know this, I kind of hate the Nuggets. SGA was a dog. Jokic, even though they lost, was a dog. It was pretty good basketball. Thunder are minus 130 favorites to win the NBA Finals. Minus 130.
They should be.
And they have a game left in this round before the conference finals.
Yeah.
No,
No,
they're
they should
minus
be.
odds. I agree.
They should. They're
But
going
now
to.
that the Celtics are dead, I absolutely agree. But
That's just knowing
Damn.
ball.
yeah,
There's really been nothing that can totally keep me off of Boston sports radio. I love listening to it. And when they're assholes, they're assholes. When they're having too much fun, they're having too much fun. Whatever. I love those guys. I love all of them. Guys and gals. There aren't as many gals, but I love them. I can't hear or recognize talk about Jason Tatum right now. The man is out for over a year. That is fucking horrible. You know the numbers on torn Achilles tendons, just in terms of like actually coming back? They are so not good.
do you know the numbers and how many are happening now? It's like
Oh, how often it's happening?
yeah, it's like
Yes.
increased fivefold. I think in the last 10 years.
You know
Achilles
why?
injuries.
Because people like this one.
They're on their phones all the time.
No.
Yeah,
Is that what you thought?
that was
I
like genuine. Like, no, that's not what I meant.
No. No, we've all got phone problems.
DJ usually
they play
plays
too many fucking
everything
games.
with a straight face. That just shocked him so
Yeah.
bad.
Why?
What? No.
Why?
Strength training.
Like it's happening less or happening more?
Too much.
More.
Too much time in the weight room. Not enough stretching.
They need to.
Maybe it's not enough stretching, but they were
decrease the
saying on the
season.
like Mark Bertrand, smart enough guy, good guy, was saying maybe it's because they're getting so big that's a lot to put on the. To folks who don't know, a little basketball talk. Boston Celtics were supposed to win the NBA Finals this year. They fell behind in their series, and as they were trying to tie it, their best player tore his Achilles tendon and is now done for like an actual year.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. So I can't recognize basketball right now.
I saw Bob Money Jones talking about it. He was like, I don't think people realize that this might like completely shift the sport for like the next decade. He was the best player on a team that was supposed to be like at the start of a dynasty.
That's why
And now the sport's
you
changed forever.
never try to, and when I was a Celtics fan, hoping that they could be the next team after the Warriors, you never time it. Never be like, oh, well, once this team's done, then it can be our turn because your guys can get hurt or someone can go to another team. We're going to talk about this as it relates to hockey because there's going to be offer sheet talk today. What else will there be today, Pete?
Today on the show, we will also talk about the president's phonies because
Whoa.
the President's Trophy, it's usually attached with a curse. But what about a phony tag? Does that come with a curse? Might this year.
Make you a phony?
Yeah, the Jets frauds. Whoa. I mean, the Jets and presidents are in the news this week.
Not wrong.
So,
Does the
you hear about
Qatari
this?
government have anything to do with the failure of the Winnipeg Jets?
Hear about this?
No.
President's on his phone a lot.
Oh, is that what you were talking about?
No. The Trump got a new Air Force One. A gift from Qatar.
Yes, and it is probably not legal.
What?
But they're going to do it anyways.
They're just giving him a plane.
Yeah.
That's what. So Kevin Paul DuPont, noted scribe from the Boston Globe, tweeted, as a journalist, I am not allowed to accept tickets to events, bribes, whatever. I will take a plane. And I just thought that was just like a thought that Dupes was having. And I was like, word.
Nope. They're giving him a big old $400 million jet.
That's very random. I almost watched Air Force One yesterday.
Yeah,
I've been doing movies when there is time between the show and games. I try to do a movie, and right now I'm in kind of, you watched Mission Impossible, like the 90s, 2000s classics.
It's a good
Recently,
movie.
I did The Rock, inspired, unfortunately, by Donald Trump. Watched that yesterday. I was like, boys.
I was very confused. The way you said that, I thought you were saying the movie was inspired by Donald Trump, and I was like, I don't think
Possibly.
it is. But yes, I know what you mean.
But one of my friends the other day was like, "Oh, if you're doing that, you should do Con Air." And I was like, "I love Con Air.
I've seen Con Air
it a million
1,000 times.
So you know what I
Always
thought?
on TV.
Let me fire up Air Force One. So I went to do that. Got the iPad. Got into bed.
Melatonin.
Woke up. Woke up like right as the game was starting. Fell asleep.
Ken Wiebe is also going to join the show. He's going to talk about the Winnipeg Jets with us and just see if there's any way forward for Winnipeg to still win this series after going down 3-1 to the Dallas Stars last night. And then, where y'all sheeting? That is a brunch reference. Where y'all sitting?
Where y'all sitting? Remember
Where y'all
those memes?
sitting? And we're going to say where y'all sheeting because we're going to take a look at the RFA list this summer and decide who's worth an offer sheet. And finally, Spotted Lamb. Spotted Lamb. That's a reference to Lou Lamoriello, who was spotted in Buffalo yesterday.
There you go. I was gonna say Lou on the Lamb, but it wouldn't be.
We know where he
totally-
is.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I said he's not on the
Buffalo.
land. We know where he is.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Hashtag Buffalo.
Right. That's the thing. Like, but if you're on the Lamb, it's like you're trying to get away. So maybe you could justify using it there, but I think it would have been a bit of a stretch.
I mean, if he's on the lam, he's probably leaving Buffalo, not going.
I think that it's a bit of a stretch to say the Winnipeg Jets could be in the postseason much longer. And I've got a lot of questions about this. As Pete said, we're going to have Winnipeg Free Press scribe. It's the second time I've said scribe today. Ken Wiebe on the show to ask some questions about the Jets. But I want to ask a question about the Dallas Stars as they are up 3-1 in their series, thanks to a 3-1 victory, thanks to a Mikael Granlund hat trick. Stars won the Cody Ceci trade, as people were noting on X last night. Are the Stars this good? Or are the Winnipeg Jets such fraud-ass pumpkins that the legend of the 2025 postseason Dallas Stars is heightened by who they're playing right now? I think it honestly might be a little bit of that.
I think so too. Winnipeg, I think not everybody, but I think a lot of people looked at them as like paper tigers and saying, Connor Hellebuyck, the narrative attached to him is that he's not good in the playoffs. And if he's not good in the playoffs, they're going to flame out. The fact that they barely escaped round one and now are kind of getting tossed around by the Stars in round two, almost everything that they were good at during the regular season has come back down to earth.
Yes.
In the playoffs. Like almost everything. Almost every element of success for this team during the regular season has just deflated a bit in the postseason. And to me, that screams fraudulent.
I mean, the biggest thing that screams fraudulent, and friend of the show and Decade of Darkness legend Ryan Whitney noted this. Like, if you were a Winnipeg Jets hater or even doubter, if they play 2 postseason rounds without winning a game on the road, you have all the ammunition you need to be like, oh my God, the biggest frauds. And this is really the icing on the cake for this. Not only have the Jets not won on the road this postseason, do you remember the game in the first round in St. Louis? I forget which one it was, that they almost won on the road. It didn't happen. Do you remember the game this round of games 3 and 4 in Dallas that they were really kind of in it until the end? Didn't happen. Not only have they not won on the road, they have not played a 1-goal game on the road. They haven't had a close loss on the road. First round in St. Louis, 7-2, 5-1, 5-2. Second round in Dallas, 5-2, 3-1. Last night was arguably the closest road game they played. And there were moments in the third period where you're like, they can pull their heads out, but you knew they were losing the game.
Right.
There wasn't any, there was like, maybe I can talk myself into this can become a close game, but that's as close as they got to it being close.
Well, here's what I'll say about that is that in the first round, Connor Hellebuyck was fucking cheeks on the road. So that part I can attribute to, it's probably Hellebuyck's
At least their
fault.
best player is horrible.
But I'm saying that's like the easy explainer as to why these games have not been close. Connor Hellebuyck has not been the problem in the series. I wouldn't say he's been great. He's not been the problem. Has not been first round Connor Hellebuyck, and they're still losing these games.
Do you know
it's not good?
This is going to add to my argument that the Stars look great because of their opponent. Connor Hellebuyck at home this postseason has a .902 save percentage, which it's not unbelievable, but in the playoffs, I think a .902 save percentage is really good.
That's because you're an Oilers fan.
No, that's because that's the second best mark in the postseason. You don't typically have like super high postseason save percentages.
I know save percentages like the median save percentages come back down to earth over the past like handful of years. 902 being like a really good mark is still surprising to me.
The only goalie who has a better home save percentage this postseason is, guess.
Don't know.
John, guess.
The only goalie that has a better home save percentage this
Yeah.
postseason?
Yes.
Calvin Pickard.
No.
Stuart Skinner.
No.
Freddie Anderson.
Good guess.
Good.
No.
Freddie Anderson's a good guess.
He's leading overall, right?
Mhm.
Home save percentage? Is it? Are you saying just guys that are still in the playoffs?
Anthony
Actually, it is
Stolarz.
Frederick Anderson.
Oh, okay.
It is Freddie Anderson. But Jake Ottinger is just ahead of him. And the point I'm going to make is, yeah, you get to play the Jets. So Connor Hellebuyck's home save percentage actually is, we'll say, like upper middle of the pack. Oh, damn. You know who else has a good home save percentage is Stuart Skinner at .915. But that's neither here nor there. My point is the Dallas Stars are having good numbers across the board, and they look like this very scary team. And I wonder how much of it is because they're playing a Winnipeg Jets team with a goalie who, yes, I'll pay off that stat. Hellebuyck's .793 on the road. So big ass. I think the Stars are what we thought they could be. We never thought they were going to be it, though, at the beginning of the postseason, just because they'd lost 7 straight going in, because they didn't have Miro Heiskanen. Now Heiskanen is back, and he only played like 15 minutes last night. Harley still kind of has his job on the power play, but they're only getting stronger. And while I fear them so much, I think that we are due, when we see the Dallas Stars next round, because this is done, they are getting through, we will have to kind of recalibrate for what do they look like when they're playing a I won't say non-asshole team because they could play the Oilers, and the Oilers, endearingly, are a huge asshole team. But what does it look like when they're playing a non-doormat? I'm eager to see, because right now, my big read on this whole series between Dallas and Winnipeg is that Winnipeg is every bit the fraud we thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not going to say that they're out yet. Like, I would be shocked if they came back in this series, but I do think there is a path back for Winnipeg here, and I do want to ask Ken about that when we have him on in a few minutes. But, like, there has to be some really, really drastic changes in this series that I don't have a lot of confidence in. But if you win one at home, and then you take just one game on the road, get one game on the road, then we're talking about a game 7.
Are we saying that the Stars haven't played anybody this postseason, or are we just
No. I mean, I give them all the respect in the world for grinding out a first round against the Avalanche without Heiskanen. I'm saying that right now, vibes and reads on the Dallas Stars are probably as high as they can possibly be. And this is coming from, I know I had them losing in the first round, but I'm a big-time Dallas Stars believer. Was a Dallas Stars believer late in the season when they were stinking, but right now I think that some of the stuff that we were doing with Carolina in the first round, where you're like, they're playing the Devils. I know it's crazy to give one of these to the President's Trophy winner, but with how uninspired the Winnipeg Jets have been, especially on the road, and I guess that's why you go out and win the President's Trophy, so you get more home games. I think that they deserve a little bit of the, they're playing the Jets, because they stink right now.
But,
and Pete's going to tell us what to do when you stink.
You play golf. You play golf. Ken is a big golfer. I'm a big golfer. And the people at PXG, they live and breathe golf, and I love them for it, because you get your PXG fitting, you go to a location near you, they're going to set you up right. They're going to get you in front of a simulator. They're going to tell you what's wrong with your swing, and they're going to tailor those clubs just for you and just for your swing. I did it a couple of times. I did it for a driver last year, and then towards the end of last season, I did it for the PXG Black Ops irons as well.
I got the good irons.
Have you used them yet?
Buddy, these irons are unbelievable.
They really are. I mean, they have absolutely saved me.
I have them.
You do. They've absolutely saved me. My bag is almost entirely PXG at this point, and that is a credit to the fitting experience at PXG in Boston, because their sales team was unbelievable. They set me up right. They're highly trained. They're incredibly experienced, and they have a deep understanding of how to optimize your clubs to get the most out of your swing. They're educational, and most importantly, it's a very fun time. It's a fun time. So schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you're going to save up to 20% off your entire order. Go to pxg.com/chaos. That's pxg.com/chaos to save up to 20% off your entire order. One more time, pxg.com/chaos. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Peeping at the chat, very confused. Did we somehow disrespect the Oilers there? I don't think so.
No.
Anyway.
No. People are saying you disrespected the Avs.
What's that?
People are saying you disrespected the Avs, or you're disrespecting the Stars by not giving them credit for not giving the Avs credit for being good, I guess.
True. I mean, the very possible the Jets could be firing on all cylinders right now, and the Stars are just making them look that bad. That's very possible.
It seems like you're like, we don't have to give them that much credit. We could do the Canes thing. The difference with the Canes thing is they hadn't played anybody in the playoffs yet. We've seen the Stars play a team that everyone thought was the best roster in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a Stars disrespecter. I was, not to pull receipts, beginning of the postseason, you boys had to talk me into not believing in the Stars, and I took the bait because I was outnumbered and I trusted you guys, and now we all look like assholes.
Sounds like a lack of accountability for your own actions.
That's exactly what if
I mean, in fairness, the Stars.
If you two jumped off a bridge, would I? Yes.
I mean, in fairness, the Stars were one player away from losing in the first round.
Yeah.
That part is true.
All right, so we are Avs respecters. We have come full circle there. Okay, there we go. Let's bring in Ken Wiebe of the Winnipeg Free Press, because we got a lot of questions about the Winnipeg Jets. Ken, how are you?
Doing great, guys. Great to be with you. And DJ, I don't want to pile on either, but before you corrected yourself, I had you as a Avs disrespecter until you made a qualifier at the end of that road as well.
Okay, fantastic. Let's respect the Winnipeg Jets while we are still able to do it. Can they come back in this series?
Well, they can, but as Pete has pointed out, it's going to take a little bit of a table turn coming up for the Jets. They have gotten away from quite a few things that made them successful during the regular season. I think that is definitely accurate, especially on the road. Their structure that had made them a back-to-back Jennings Trophy winner for allowing the fewest goals against. There's been too much unraveling. It's goals in bunches. Yes, we saw Kickgate in Game 3, but they gave up a goal less than a minute later. That's not like them. They've had the roof caved in by the St. Louis Blues on several of those occasions. As you guys also referenced, league's best power play during the regular season is on the frosty side, 1 for 16 in the series. Not great overall, but this has been an issue since prior to Four Nations. So, I mean, this is one of those things where, there have been some dips on that front. They've had some chances, but you got to produce. I mean, guys, this is crazy. This is one of the wildest stats in these Stanley Cup playoffs and going back to the regular season. Kyle Connor, one of the most prolific goal scorers in the NHL, had 9 power play goals this year, guys. His last one came on December 23rd against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's over half a season ago. And again, Kyle Connor is a great player, having a great year, and still was among the leaders with 9 power play goals. But it's been a while since he had one. The breakaway yesterday, great chance. He was slashed by Heiskanen, but DJ, you said it wasn't a close game. I mean, if he scores on the shorthanded goal there, it's a 2-2 game. So I would counter that the game was pretty tight right until the Granlund power play marker. But it's a fact. The Jets are not operating on all cylinders. In terms of the fraud squad thing, my counter to that would be, I don't know a lot of fraud squads that have scored 2 goals at 6-on-5 in the last 2 minutes of a game 7 to win a series that most thought was over at that point. But they definitely have another level that they have to reach if they want to get out of this first round, or a second round, pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, for the fraud squad thing, like I felt like their Achilles heel was always going to be the lack of depth scoring. They got so many goals from so few players during the regular season, or I guess like it was kind of top heavy at the top of their lineup, and those guys have gone quiet. And you mentioned Kyle Connor; he's had his opportunities. He just kind of hasn't buried a lot of the goals that you expect him to. And if he's not doing that, and if Scheifele's not doing that, and Connor Hellebuyck isn't at his best, this team is absolutely screwed.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about the fact that the top end, I mean, it's been steady, but not maybe at a ridiculous. They're not at a Mikko Rantanen pace, right? I mean, that's also a fact. During the year, the depth scoring was there, though, Pete. They had multiple guys in double digits. Their defense, they had 2 guys on the back end, Pionk and Morrissey, in double digits. But, in the playoffs, you need secondary scoring. And let's not forget, Pete DeBoer absolutely torched his guys for having no secondary scoring after game 2, and they were shut out 4-0. And lots of folks in the market that I work in thought it was going to be Jets in 5, and they were just going to roll them over. But things changed quickly in the playoffs. Mikael Granlund has woken up and have been great in the last 2 games. Rope Hintz, who had just 1 single assist in the first 2 games, he's been dynamite in the last 2. So, hey, guess what? If you're the Jets and you're a secondary scorer, time to step up your game. Like, this is very simple. If you want the narrative to go away, change the narrative. That's as simple as it gets. This is not a media creation. The facts are the Jets were bounced in 5 games by the Vegas Golden Knights. They were bounced in 5 games by the Colorado Avalanche. They survived a game 7, but if they don't win on Thursday night, they're in danger of being bounced in 5 games for the 3rd year in a row, even though this time it will be in the second round instead of the first. And if you're a team that has legitimate Stanley Cup aspirations, winning 5 when your plan is to win 16 is simply not good enough.
How important is it for them to, I say, not only extend this series, but win a game on the road? Because the Jets are unlike other teams in that when you have good players and you can keep good players, you must do that. However, if they lose in somewhat embarrassing fashion and the headlines are President's Trophy-winning team couldn't win a game on the road at all, went 2 rounds without winning a game on the road, Connor Hellebuyck for the 2nd straight postseason was at the best very questionable, other organizations would think this is the point at which we make changes. But the Jets, I will never really see as that team because, like I said, when you have star players, you kind of got to keep them. So how important is it for them to get something done in at least these next 2 games to not put themselves in that spot?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point, DJ, for sure. I mean, we know what happened to Boston the year that they won the President's Trophy also. So like it happens, but that team is now in a little bit different mode here. But the Jets have doubled down on their core. This is not new. It's not a new development. By signing Scheifele and Hellebuyck to those matching 7-year extensions, they are locked in on this core. Yes, they have a big decision coming with Nikolai Ehlers and a big decision coming with Kyle Connor, but the bulk of their core is locked up long term. And Kevin Cheveldayoff, the general manager, has doubled down and tripled down on that group. So they're the only ones that can change the narrative and that they can go deep. Like now 2 playoff series wins since 2018. And DJ, to your point about the road woes, it's not just this year. It's 9 games in a row dating back. Their last road win was game 1 against Vegas in 2022. What's my math there? 2022. Yeah. Or 3. Sorry.
3. Yeah.
Either way, 23, 10 games, 9 games is too many. And they would do almost anything to get a chance to have that avoid reaching double digits on Saturday here. But it's just one of those wild things. The Jets had 26 road wins during the year, guys. That was the most, I think, in the NHL. They didn't have the best road record, but they had the most road wins. So this is sort of a new development. And yeah, sure, the matchup game is part of it, but this is a team that prided itself on its defensive structure. Hey, like these guys were like Tampa. Before Tampa won the Cup, they didn't defend well. Before the Jets, had Rick Bowness and Scott Arniel come in as an associate, defense was often optional for them. So they made a bunch of these strides, but it hasn't been applicable in the playoffs as often, and especially not on the road, which is baffling that, as you guys mentioned in the first round, Hellebuyck didn't even get out of a game on the road. He got pulled in all 3 games. So, it hasn't been as, I think people aren't pointing the finger at Hellebuyck in the second round here, but he's the second best goalie in the series right now to Jake Oettinger. And DJ, what happened last year in the Western Conference Final? Stuart Skinner outplayed Jake Oettinger, which is one of the reasons they went to the Cup final and the Stars didn't. And there was disbelief in that, right? I mean, most people outside of Oilers fans thought the Stars were the heavy favorite and had this massive advantage in goal. It did not end up being the case. And this was right after Skinner lost his net to Winnipegger Calvin Pickard in the previous round. So things are just a little bit off kilter, I guess, if you will. Hellebuyck has been good at home, as you touched on. And I like the fact that he was out there yesterday talking after the game. I mean, we know this has been a bit of a storyline here, and he's very much a power of positivity person, but I like that he's shown a little bit more of a human side here and, was sour about the goal he let in from Granlund from the top of the circles yesterday. He didn't come right out and say, I should have had it, but prior to the game last round, after he got pulled in St. Louis, he said, I'm going to be better. So this is your chance. I mean, Connor Hellebuyck has the ability to change the narrative. He's the best regular season goalie on the planet. But if you want to get out of the first round, there's going to have to be a superhuman effort at some point. He's famous for making the difficult saves look routine, but he's got to make a few more saves. And that just doesn't apply to Hellebuyck. This isn't a one-man show. If the Jets are going to rally, they need more from their top guns. As you mentioned, Pete, Kyle's got to do more. Mark Scheifele's got to do more. The secondary scorers have got to do more. The power play's got to be better. Penalty kills got to be better. And the goaltending's got to be better. Other than that, it's going great right now for them. But, 72 shot attempts yesterday should have been enough to generate on Jake Oettinger, but Oettinger came up with those timely saves. The one great backdoor save on Kyle Connor with the left pad after the setup by Iafallo. That's exceptional. And this is the other part, guys. This is the one big thing about the Stars. They're not unraveling. Jake Oettinger let in a stinker. Let's be real here. I mean, the Ehlers goal is a smart look off to the back door, but that can't be getting through the wickets at this time of the year. But you know what happened after that? Jake Oettinger slammed the door shut and made sure there were no more that got by him. So despite his first softie of the series, Oettinger still won the goalie battle, and that's what the Jets are going to need from Hellebuyck at least once during the course of the next 3 games, if 3 games are played.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because like they said on the ESPN broadcast, they were like, if Hellebuyck let up that goal that Oettinger did, he would be getting killed. But the difference is that when Hellebuyck lets up the first goal, it often seems like the first step in an unraveling, and that didn't happen with Oettinger. I did want to ask you, like, what level, assuming that the Jets do not come back from this, what level of heat is Hellebuyck going to carry in the offseason? Because obviously this is not a one playoff thing at this point, but he has taken a little bit of heat off of himself, has he not, in the second round? Like, how much of that blame is he going to carry in that heat in the offseason?
Yeah, Pete, I mean, I would put it this way. Last year, Connor Hellebuyck was a story in the series against the Colorado Avalanche. He gave up 24 goals in 5 games. And no, there weren't a lot of softies in there, but his response was going out and winning a 3rd Vezina trophy, conceivably, and being a Hart Trophy finalist. So he went back in the lab and made himself better, but it hasn't translated into fully changing the narrative about playoff Hellebuyck. Now, winning a round in a game 7 in a wild fashion was helpful to that cause, but when a Vezina 3-time or soon to be 3-time Vezina Trophy winner is pulled in 3 road games in the first round and his goals against is close to 6, now that's tough. So there will be heat for sure, but I mean, this isn't a scenario, guys, where, and again, I'm not saying you're suggesting this, but this isn't a scenario where the Jets are going to say in year 2 of a 7-year deal, would you like to buy low on playoff Hellebuyck here? This is not how, like, they believe in Connor Hellebuyck and he believes in them. So I don't think this is a scenario where the Jets are suddenly shopping Hellebuyck if they don't get out of the second round. Now, Connor, as a guy who has outwardly said on countless occasions, I don't care about Vezinas. All I want to do is win the Stanley Cup. If the playoffs end with only 5 victories, that's going to be fuel for him, but he's also going to carry that with him. And that's a tough burden to carry. I mean, flat out, guys, Connor Hellebuyck said after round 1 was complete, he felt like the weight of the world was lifted off of his shoulders. And, by getting a shutout in game 2 against Dallas, I think a lot of people were thinking, well, maybe he has turned the corner completely. But the one piece of that puzzle, which has still been a bit of an issue, has been the road play. Now, again, not a ton of softies in the 2 games, but in a series like this against Dallas, which is playing well, and DJ, I would just counter, I mean, Rantanen's been unreal. I don't think this is just the Stars sleepwalking through the series here. I mean, Rantanen's putting forth one of the, this is not quite McDavid levels, but like, this is pretty impressive. I mean, he had goals on 17 of the previous 19 goals scored. I mean, this is Mario Lemieux territory here. So, and then getting Heiskanen back has been big for them. Thomas Harley's been an absolute beast in this series. But I mean, to your point is very accurate. Jason Robertson's just getting back up to speed. Jamie Benn has not really chipped in much in this series. Sagan hasn't really gotten going the way that we've all seen him perform before. Matt Duchene's got a paltry 4 playoff power play assists in the first round and none in the second. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I think that's kind of erasing what Rantanen has done. And I mean, Roope Hintz still one of the best 2-way players in the game here too. So I don't think this is necessarily the Jets folding, but I mean, they definitely got to find another level. I mean, Vladislav Nemestikov had to step up when Scheifele got hurt. He's got no points this round. Ehlers starting to try to change a narrative of his own with 3 goals in this series after having 4 in his first 40 playoff games as a pending UFA. So there's a lot of narratives flying around. And, if the Jets are to extend their season, they're going to need some of those guys to keep changing pieces of the narrative. Again, these are not media creations. We're just reporting the facts, right? I mean, that's part of what our job is.
All right, Ken. Well, hopefully you can report on at least, I'm hoping at least 2 more wins. I would love to see Winnipeg come back in this series, mainly because I fear the Stars for the Oilers in the next round. But we spent so much time this year being like, it's easy to say that they're just going to fold in the postseason. And at least I kind of bought in during the regular season. And now it just seems so easy to be like, oh, of course it's happening again. So as you said, Ken, they can change the narrative. Thank you very much for joining us, my friend.
Yeah, pleasure to be with you guys. Enjoy the postseason. Always enjoy what you do. And who knows? Could see you a round or 2 down the road. Who knows? Otherwise, have a great rest of the playoffs here. Take care, fellas.
What a guy. It's Ken Wiebe of the Winnipeg Free Press. Nothing announced yet, but looking like Rick Tocchet will indeed be the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. And now we just ask ourselves, how good a coach is he again? That's another one that I was kind of set it and forget it with Rick Tocchet. And Pete was like, were things so good the last calendar year that all is well there? We shall find out. I'll tell you what, though, if Rick Tocchet is going to Flyers games, he won't need to use Vivid seats.
I will say, like, for the Flyers who just had a coach say, I have no interest in coaching this team and basically quitting and then getting fired. It is nice for them that they got a coach who literally quit on his other team to come coach the Flyers. Has a lot of interest in coaching that team.
And made it pretty clear. He's like, I'm choosing my job. You're not picking me. I get to choose where I go.
Yes. So a real turnaround for Philly. Good for them.
I should not say this because it's just going to open the floodgates. Chat, please do not say that Elliot Friedman is reporting things that he is not reporting, because somebody just made my heart drop by joking that the Bruins were hiring Jay Woodcroft. So do not do that, although I want good things to happen to Jay Woodcroft. But yes, it's nice of you to keep us honest, but facts only. And the facts are that Vivid Seats is the best place to get your tickets for any live event. Best selection of games and seats, every purchase backed by their 100% buyer guarantee. Plus, Vivid Seats is the only ticket marketplace that rewards you for every ticket purchase. So download the Vivid Seats app and start earning rewards towards free tickets. New Vivid Seats users who use promo code CHAOS30 will receive $30 off their first purchase of $300 or more. Once again, click the link in the show notes, go to vividseats.com or download the Vivid Seats app and use promo code CHAOS30 for $30 off your first purchase of $300 or more. When it comes to playoff hockey, being there is all that matters, so experience it live with Vivid Seats.
And if you're going to games, may as well put on some Mando before you go, because nobody wants to sit next to a stinky old man that ruins the experience for everybody else. And Mando has you covered. They're a men's deodorant brand that is hyper-focused on keeping every aspect of your body smelling fresh and clean. And yes, we mean every part of your body. That includes your pits, that includes your nips, that includes your thighs, your feet. You can put that deodorant basically anywhere you can reach. So it's a whole body deodorant that was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Mando is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours so you can smell nice and fresh. And also they've got a bunch of awesome scents like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. So control your odor and smell great at the same time. It's America's #1 whole body deodorant formula, and you can find them in Walmart, Target, and other retailers across the country. For the best deals, go to shopmando.com, and you can get a starter pack courtesy of us and Mando. It's perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, such as mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping as well. It's a special offer for our listeners, and new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code WHATCHAOS at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Okay, we have, and I'll say this. I know that Frank Saravalli did say that Jay Woodcroft is in the mix for the Bruins. I don't know what the Bruins think they're going to be next year, but my gut reaction is no, thank you.
Yeah. Same.
And I like Jay Woodcroft. I want good things to happen to him.
I like Jay Woodcroft. I just don't like him on my team.
I think that there's...
I mean, if Jay
I don't know how
Woodcroft-
much that... I honestly, I don't know what that says about how much I like Jay Woodcroft. I don't want to see Jay Woodcroft be an experiment for my team.
If there were an opening, Jay Woodcroft would be good for the Sabres. But there's not an opening there.
No,
and also,
I
don't
strongly disagree with that. The Sabres need somebody that can win a Stanley Cup. They're
oh my God, Sean, you are adorable.
Sean, let's go ahead and take the first step.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm saying like they have done the develop guys, move them a step forward thing over the last 5 years. They're not in that, if they are doing that again, then they need to start blowing shit up again.
They don't need the coach that is going to win them the Stanley Cup. They need the coach who is going to give them a chance to win the Stanley Cup by getting into the playoffs. And I think that Jay Woodcroft can be that guy.
They don't need the guy to drive them to the airport. They need somebody who has a phone and Uber and or Lyft on there. That is what they need. Steps.
I will say the last time Jay Woodcroft was a head coach, that team did go to the Stanley Cup that year. So
that's true.
Fair. Okay. We have RFA offer sheet draft pick compensation charts. Isn't that so nice? We've got them there. Here we go. $1.54 million or less, the compensation is nothing. And I'll note, what we're talking about here is if you sign a restricted free agent to an offer sheet, the team has a week to match. And if they don't match, you have to give that team stuff and you get the player. Between 1.5 and 2.3, you give up a 3rd round pick. Between 2.3 and 4.6, you give up a 2nd. Between 4.6 and 7.02, 1st and 3rd round picks. Between 7 and 9.3, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round picks. Between 9.3 and 11.7, 2 firsts, 1 second, and 1 third. Over $11.7 million AAV, 4 first-round picks. And I will note, of course, as people don't do this, and it makes it very confusing, offer sheet AAV is total money divided by years. up to 5. So not the way that it is normally compensated, where you would just do money divided by years. So for example, if you give someone $10 million a year for 8 years, you would not divide 80 by 8. You would divide it by 5, which would be 16. And that would mean you'd be giving up 4 first-round picks. It is hard to offer sheet players, to get them to sign and to get the other team to match. Last year, of course, it happened twice by the same team to the same team when the St. Louis Blues stole Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway from the Oilers. And it's very exciting because now maybe this is starting to happen, and there are exciting RFAs out there. There's Evan Bouchard. There's Gabriel Velarde. There's Matthew Nyes. We've talked about him ad nauseum. There's also J.J. Peterka, speaking of the Buffalo Sabres. Sean's got a nice list right there. Pete, when you see these numbers come out and you know what the names are, you can run down there. I'll just do it. Bouchard, Nyes, Peterka, Velarde, Rossi, Geeky, McTavish, Voronkov, Luke Hughes, Will Cooley, Bo Byram, Noah Dobson, among them. What's going through your mind? As I know you're a Boston Bruins fan who can offer sheet some guys. You got your next 4 first-round picks. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think if you're a Bruins fan, like the name, you would obviously love to steal Matthew Nyes, but I don't know how likely that is. I feel like it's more likely that, like, maybe you swipe a guy like Mason McTavish or Will Cooley. Like, I feel like those guys could make a lot of sense for the Bruins to try to pursue.
Here's my read on all of this. Matthew Nyes isn't getting offer sheeted. Evan Bouchard is not getting offer sheeted. The players that are at the top of that list, like the best players, the already established stars, are not getting offer sheeted because if you
Cost too much.
Because in order to offer sheet somebody, you have to overpay them. Like Philip Broberg got way more AAV than he was projected, and it was a stealth move by the Blues because they knew what the Oilers could afford, and they said, okay, we're going to pay him like twice what he's worth just so we can get him, and we've got the cap space. Cool. AFP Analytics does contract projections. They're the best. I love them, and I reference them all the time. The projected contract for Matthew Nyes is, if you go long-term, 7 times $7.22 million a year, or 2 times $4.17 million a year. If you're offer sheeting Matthew Nyes, you're not giving him his projected contract.
Right. You're going to give him like $9 or $10 million.
Blowing his projected contract, that's right, out of the water. So if you give Nyes, say, up to $9.63 million a year for up to 5 years, that's a first, a second, and a third, that's healthy.
I would honestly do it. Like,
but remember, you're also overpaying him.
Right.
So,
but I mean, like, as a petty Bruins fan, that would still absolutely tickle my fancy because, number one, you're getting a really good young player. You're probably overpaying him a little bit, but that's fine. And you're stealing him away from a rival.
Problem there is, do we know Maple Leafs don't match?
Yeah, right.
We don't
obviously
know. So if you give Matthew Nyes,
especially if they're letting Marner walk.
So if you give Matthew Nyes between $9.36 and $11.7 million a year for up to 5 years, you're giving up 2 firsts, a second, and a third. That, now you're thinking, I am paying out the ass, both financially and in terms of draft pick compensation. The offer sheet that I came up with for Matthew Nyes is 3 times $9.5 million, or like 3 times $10 million. That is healthy for a player who, playing with amazing players, had 58 points this season, and he's going off in the postseason. He's got 7 points in 10 games. Not going off, but I think he's been one of their best players and a trusted scorer. I believe he has 5 goals. So he should be the apple of anybody's eye, but I think he's too good to offer sheet because just giving him what he's worth is going to be an assload of compensation.
Yeah, I get it, but I also, like, I made this point earlier in the season. It's like, if the Leafs are in a position where they can keep both Marner and Nyes, like, heading into July 1st, if you're interested in either Marner or Nyes, if you put the offer sheet on the table, you're giving yourself a chance to get one of them.
Right.
because
they match and
it's
then-
unlikely that they're going to be able to afford both of them. So if that's your power play as a potential offer sheet team, that might be worth making.
I think that the three most interesting players, I mean, I take Evan Bouchard out of it. There's no way Evan Bouchard is getting offer sheeted, and that's not me coping as an Oilers fan. It's just saying that his projected deal is 8 times $10.88 million.
I would be
That's 4 first-round picks.
I would be so afraid to give him that contract without any attached compensation.
Yes.
What was it again?
8 times $10.88 million. That's 4 first-round picks because you divide the total money by 5. 4 first-round picks and about $11 million. And that's just if you're just giving like the projected contract, not doing the offer sheet thing of way overpaying him. And the way to kind of steal the guy is to go lower on years, higher on AAV. So are you going to give Evan Bouchard a 2-year, $15 million contract and then give up 4 first-round picks? It's not happening. I think that the possibility that you bring up with Matthew Nyes is okay, where overpay him by a little just to get the Leafs to match that, and then you can try to swipe Nylander or Marner or even Tavares if that's your want. How about Gabriel Velarde? 25 years old, 61 points this season, got hurt late in March, missed 11 games, not doing much in the postseason, but if you're a team that needs a center, like that's the guy that I'm going after. But his projected contract is probably prohibitive. So I don't know which of these guys ends up actually getting offer sheeted. Velarde's projected deal, 4 times $6.82 million. So if you give him a raise on that and go lower on the years, you're looking at least first, second, and third round picks. It's hard to offer sheet guys. There was a perfect storm last year for St. Louis, I think, and maybe we end up getting our hopes up on if any of these guys can be stolen. But if any of them are, it is the top tier guys. There were choice RFAs last year, like Seth Jarvis or like Lucas Raymond, and it just wasn't happening with those guys. It is those kind of middle tier guys like Holloway who you end up being able to steal, if at all. Yeah, Sean?
We have breaking news. New head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, Adam Foote.
What?
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Whoa.
That came out of nowhere.
For Darren Drager.
Whoa.
That came out of nowhere to me, but all right.
He said, as others have speculated, so I guess there was probably talk about it around Vancouver, but yeah.
All right.
Damn.
Shout out to them.
All right, they have their coach.
I think that, like you mentioned it, like last year's RFA thing was kind of a perfect storm where it was negligence by one team and just like opportunity for another team. And, you know, there was a few of them. There was 3 total teams that made the offer sheet pitch for those 2 guys. But again, there has to be negligence on one side as well, or at least just like a really, really difficult situation financially in order for the offer sheets to work. And I'm interested to see what it looks like this summer, because now after what happened last summer, a lot of people are like, "Has this changed the offer sheet game forever?" And we could very well be like 2 months down the road and be like, "Oh, of course, it didn't change."
I have buried one of the biggest points I wanted to make. Let me get you to the 4.6 times between 4.6 and $7.02 million tier. There's a lot of teams, and that's the first one that involves a first round pick. Teams that can do that are the Ducks, the Bruins, the Sabres, the Blue Jackets, the Flames, the Blackhawks, the Red Wings, the Kings, the Wild, the Canadiens, the Preds, the Devils, the Islanders, the Rangers, the Senators, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Penguins, the Kraken, the Blues, the Mammoth, very good, Dave, and the Winnipeg Jets.
Puckpedia needs to update their logos.
I know. I saw it. I almost said Hockey Club.
Yeah. Wouldn't have blamed you.
The 2026 draft features the best prospect since Connor McDavid. So, are you offer sheeting somebody and giving up your 2026 first round pick if you are a lot of these teams?
That's a good point.
Even if you're the Ducks, man, you never know. If you're the Bruins, you're not doing it. if
Yeah,
you're
what are the chances? What are the
I
chances
mean-
that Joel Quenneville is senile and he doesn't know how to coach anymore, and you are the last place team in the league?
okay, right. So like perfect. Take the Ducks off there, and they're a team that could be a playoff team. Absolutely take the Blackhawks off there. Do you take the Kings off there just in case
a
there's
good-
like
it's a good
there's
point that I
so
hadn't
many teams you
considered.
peel off there.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat also raised a good point that do the LA Kings have any notable RFAs? Because famously, Ken Holland is not good at protecting those.
Oh, good
So,
question.
Alex Laferriere, you are not a Los Angeles King anymore.
Oh, okay. That doesn't, with all due respect, that doesn't really change my life too significantly, nor does it change, I think, an LA Kings fan's life. But I don't know. Man, so maybe it says to you, Pete, do you want Morgan Geekie back or you want someone to offer sheet him? You're like, oh no, I hope we don't forget to sign him to a, hold on, a $9.36 million AAV contract. And then that's 2 first-round picks.
God, if Morgan Geekie's being signed for $9 million a year.
Oh, wait, maybe that's what ends up happening. Teams intentionally. Oh, the Kings hired Ken Holland so he can botch their RFA and lose him to an offer sheet so they can get another 2026 first round pick. That's what it is. Oh, Oilers, don't sign Evan Bouchard. Get Gavin McKenna. You'll win that lottery. We all fucking know.
I know. There's no precedent for the Oilers winning the draft lottery. Sean, what do we got there?
So have you guys touched on Utah's first round draft pick is not only the 4th overall pick, but also an original 6th pick in the draft.
Good call.
Oh.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. I think that was a pretty healthy RFA compensation talk. You can get a little crazy. You can get tough to keep track of, but I think the bullet points are the star players probably aren't getting offer sheeted. Teams that would offer sheet will probably think twice about doing it if it involves their first round pick. And the Kings hired Ken Holland, hoping that Alex Laferriere can somehow turn into Gavin McKenna.
That's right. There we go. That sums it up quite nicely. I did have a random thought that popped in. The timing on this Canucks coaching announcement is something, right? It's like when your
timing.
partner breaks up with you and you just want the win to say you found another partner first.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's nice that you are in a relationship with this new person. I found a boyfriend first.
Also, it seems like they waited until the exact second that you got credible reports that talk was going to Philly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm also dating somebody. I'm very happy. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you're happy, but I'm also very happy.
All right. Well, Adam Foote has a tall task ahead of him, we shall say. I'll just have to put 1 foot. What?
Quinn Hughes isn't that tall.
That's true. Who's
That's-
tall? Oh, they've got some. No, they shipped him to Siberia. I don't even know what team Vinny Desharnais is on anymore. That's so sad. He got traded like 800 times this year.
Yeah. No.
Is
he was
Vinny
traded.
Desharnais a Pittsburgh Penguin, Sean?
I believe he is. I
so,
think
but
he
they
was
do have-
part of the Pedersen trade.
Of
Yeah.
course.
They do have Tyler Myers.
Tyler Myers. Yeah, that is a tall
Ah.
task.
Yes.
Famously the Chaos Giraffe.
Zach Phillips in the chat.
Vinny
Legend.
Desharnais is a professional ice hockey defenseman for the San Jose Sharks of the National Hockey League.
What? How did he end up on
Did
the-
they trade him after he went to Pittsburgh? I think Pittsburgh may have flipped him like very
Yeah, because
quickly.
didn't Pittsburgh make a weird trade that we were kind of like, why?
Yeah, that's Frank Saravalli said the Penguins shouldn't have been on that. I think
Yes.
the Blues and the Penguins were
He was
talking
traded
trade.
to San Jose. He was traded to San Jose by Pittsburgh for a 5th round draft pick in the 2028 NHL draft.
Can I say
They shouldn't be allowed to make that trade.
crazy bit of work by the Penguins. I love you, Vinny Desharnais. And there were times
free 5th round pick.
there were points
3 years
a
away.
year ago that we were like, think you put Desharnais in for tonight. Can't figure out which defenseman to use. Broberg, whatever. Worry about him later. Yeah, you get anything for that guy? I love him. He's tall. He hugs Stuart Skinner, but not the finest season. Okay, Sean, do we have the photo?
Oh,
Lou
yeah.
Lamoriello.
Oh, yeah.
Lou Lamoriello spotted in the Buffalo airport.
Such a funny picture.
Pete, say what you said before the show.
It is the most obvious picture of Lou Lamoriello from behind. It's I never once doubted whether or not that was Lou Lamoriello. Maybe that says more about me than the photo, but I believe that for sure because that is absolutely the back of Lou Lamoriello's head.
Okay, the tweet from Darren Drager. I'm sure Sabres would be interested in adding Lamoriello to their brain trust, but nothing imminent. Lou was spotted at the airport in Buffalo, apparently there to renew his nexus with the crying, laughing emoji.
Mike Harrington said like an hour ago, he confirmed that he was there for his Nexus interview, and which we kind of already knew, he's already turned down the Sabres. Like that happened a week or two ago. So
I was paying attention.
It was the same. It was him and Holland. Like reporters confirmed that they had approached both of them as an advisory, an assistant to the GM type of thing, and they both turned it down. And obviously, Holland ended up in LA.
That is so sad. You don't want Lou Lamoriello, but you also don't want to be rejected by Lou Lamoriello in the year of our Lord 2025. But you know what? Sometimes teams are saved by them. Themselves.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm happy that he said no.
Okay.
The only thing that matters is the result.
Getting his Nexus.
Huh?
I said him getting his Nexus.
And somebody pointed out that you can do that online.
Yeah, but apparently he is there for an interview. Like
he does. He's an analog man, Pete.
I mean, as we've talked about, he's 82 years old. Online might not be his thing. And yeah, I don't know. Harrington said that he was there for the interview.
And I like that he showed up for his next interview with like a briefcase.
He's got yeah.
To be fair, if I'm doing anything with Border Patrol or anything, I'm presenting myself as good as possible in 2025. Not that Lou, I think, has much to worry about, but might as well.
Damn, Lou Lamoriello. I hate to say it, Lou Lamoriello. I want you out of the league. I don't want you on. I don't want you with any team.
That's disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. I
he
think
should want to. He should just go rest.
I would be okay with Lou being a part of something. I don't know if I want. Well, I definitely know that I don't want Lou running somebody's show because, as far as it pertains to us, that's bad news. He doesn't let his guys talk to anybody. He's very, very secretive, keeps things close to the vest, doesn't let his players do podcasts, things like that. So with that in mind, I don't want Lou running a show. But if he's like a voice in a room, sure, go ahead.
We should try to get Lou on the podcast.
Doesn't
I know you don't want
I think you would have to pay for him to fly here and get him here in person. There's no way he's doing it remote.
I do that in person.
We should pretend that we're Nexus guys.
That seems like a felony.
It might be.
Yeah, that is exactly what
worth
that
it.
Sean, give me the slate.
Paul, Lou detained by ICE.
Give me the slate, Sean.
Confirmed Evan Rodriguez out tonight, being replaced by Jesper Boquist.
Oh, interesting. Evan Rodriguez. People forget. You want to see that guy's name? Check the Stanley Cup. Only time you're going to see Evan. Do we have any other morning skate type-ish
haven't
things?
Seen anything yet?
I'm going to peep Ryan Rashog. I don't really have a consistent morning skate tweet person for Vegas or for Edmonton.
I feel like Tony's pretty good about Edmonton and Sinbin Vegas.
Yes.
Sinbin.Vegas for Vegas.
Although,
pretty good, but it doesn't look like we're getting anything from either team yet.
I'll be an Oilers fanboy here. There was a tweet from Sinbin Vegas during the last game, which was, "It appears Pietrangelo is under Draisaitl's skin." And I said, "Oh, honey, that is just his face." And there were a bunch of responses that were just like, "That's just how he looks."
It is just how he looks.
It's just a word that we can't say. Guy. He's just hunty.
And, I mean, we know Sinbin Vegas, our dear pal.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a loose cannon.
Oh,
we love him for it.
We had lunch with him.
Loose cannon.
He said that to us at a lunch. Okay, yeah, Sean, give me the slate. The NHL gave Panthers and Leafs an extra day of rest to set up the second half of these series as the craziest shit in the world. And I know that, obviously, they did this, so they know what they did, but they know what they did.
Yeah, and I don't like it because the Oilers Golden Knights was supposed to be the treat after you put yourself through Kane's caps.
It was the popsicle you get after getting your tonsils taken out.
Yeah.
What Pete had a good one. It was going to the strip club after your nephew's baptism.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, oops, all entertainment tonight, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe it's just this is the league putting pressure on the Canes and Caps to give us a better series.
I am going to a wedding in Canada, so I'll be remote tomorrow. I'm going to be heading to Canada. I need there to just be one game to watch on Friday. And I would like for it to be the Leafs and the Panthers because that game has to happen anyway. That is not an if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I would like there to be no if necessary on Friday for the Oilers and Golden Knights, but I am not even close to counting out the Knights. It's hard for me to imagine the Golden Knights losing 3 home games in the second round. That would be wild. We got a crazy night of hockey ahead of us.
I'm very excited for it.
I know we famously do not care, but Team USA at Worlds blew a 5-1 lead to Team Norway.
It's not good.
And then went to overtime and won in overtime. Shout out.
It's not good.
Tage Thompson. But I don't really care about the circumstances. Team USA probably shouldn't be blowing a 4-goal lead to Norway in the second half of a game under any circumstances.
Yeah, Norway's not exactly a real powerhouse.
No, they're not. They're not. And Team USA is, but apparently not.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what an Australian would say to the results of that game?
Oh,
No way.
Norway.
Oh, no.
Norway.
Oh, no.
All right.
Okay,
Very
I see
good.
what you're doing.
That's way better. What was the accent you were doing before the show? We were like, oh, what? Get that out of here.
I was on my phone the entire pre-show. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's fair. He be on his phone. I got it. All right, folks. Make sure you are subscribed everywhere you can be subscribed. I'm talking about YouTube especially, but everywhere. Podcasts, Instagram, wherever you get your stuff.
All right. Go ahead and like the video, please. That would be very, very nice of you to do. Please hit the thumbs up button right below the video player. That's how we get our like spike. That's how we help the algorithm, and the algorithm helps us. And we're also on audio and on social media. So wherever you can find us, please find us there and support us. Comment, like, share, all that good stuff. It helps us, and we love you.
We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
We all silly like the mayor.